Hi, everybody, and welcome to Bae Watch. Of course, I'm here with my lovely co-host, Mara Jane.
Hi, today we're going to talk about a whole bunch of fucking insanity, like two terrorist attacks, Spain attacking people, but happy stuff too, like dolphins fucking.
Okay, that's one way to put it. If you would like, yeah, and then afterwards, we're gonna go more in depth into this whole Spain thing because that's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, and then if you want to support the show, you can use the dollar sign at the bottom left-hand corner of the chat to donate and be part of the conversation, or you can purchase some of our awesome merchandise from the Bae Watch Teespring store, and there's links in the description. Go check it out.
And then, of course, be sure to subscribe to the Bae Watch channel and follow us on Twitter. Of course, the Bae Watch channel is where everything gets archived. So, yeah, it's been a crazy week.
It has been.
Happened. Yeah.
I didn't pause the stream. There we go.
No,
yeah,
okay.
it's been bananas. We were discussing what we're going to talk about, and yeah, multiple stabbies this week.
Yeah, so we've got, we'll just start with the one in Canada. There was a terror attack in Canada, a knife attack, and they haven't found him, and I believe 2 people have died.
I believe, wait, was that the Canadian one? Or the French one? There's too many terror attacks happening.
Well, in the French terror attack, the guy deaded.
Yeah, he deaded. In the Canadian one, they left 5 injured. And I believe one of them was a cop. And then he fled. So the 2 dead people is from the French one. But it's really sad when you can't even remember off the top of your head how many died in which stabbing attack this week or in the last day.
Yeah, and I mean, and when we started talking about terror attacks in the global issues class, we were trying to talk specifically about an attack, and everybody got confused because we couldn't remember which attack it was, like which French attack it was that we were talking about, because everybody kept getting them mixed up because there are so many.
France has been hit especially hard by all of this crap, haven't they?
Yeah, so if that, I mean, that's just a massive mess. When,
it is.
when you can't keep terror attacks straight. So, yeah, but the 2 people died in Canada, and then the terrorists died
in France.
That's the situation.
I thought the 2 people died in France. I'm so confused. Where did people die? Damn it! Yeah, France, they died, but he died too. In Canada, he got away and injured 5 people.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, hush. Yeah.
So nobody deaded in Canada?
At least no one's deaded yet. I don't know how serious the injuries are, because it looks like it's just not long happened, and depending on where they got stabbed or injured or whatever, there could be issues that cause them to die in the next few days. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really mention how serious any of the injuries are. It just says that 5 people have been injured. So, and the suspect in Canada is believed to be a 30-year-old Somalian national living in Canada as a refugee.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And in France, the knife man is believed to have shouted. Guess what he shouted? Guess.
I said no less.
Honestly, you dead set need to get a shirt that has "I said no lettuce" in Arabic written on it.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. Just have to show some love to 2 beautiful ladies. Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Stephen.
Yeah, right. I need a t-shirt that says I said no lettuce in Arabic because, like, they always say that and shouted something in Arabic, and it's like, something really? Like, what? What? I hate Mondays?
I wonder what it could be.
Like, purple is the worst color ever. What did they shout in Arabic? What?
I like it when they don't beat around the bush. They just straight up tell us what they said.
Which is
I like it when that
Allahu
happens.
Akbar, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. Does the article say something in Arabic?
No, this article actually says it shouted Allahu Akbar, parenthesis, God is great. So they went a step further and translated the phrase that doesn't need translating. So if you don't know what it means by now, you shouldn't laugh. Everyone knows what it means.
Yeah. So that's lovely. And then I guess I'll leave you to talk about your Australian warships are getting busy.
Yes, because apparently it's looking like a missile strike from North Korea to Australia is getting more and more likely every day. Because leave us alone, okay? We don't care. We just want to chill out here with our kangaroos and try and make sure that the koalas stop getting chlamydia. That's all we want to do.
Do you have a chlamydia epidemic?
Yeah, koalas are like rabbits, but in trees. So they fuck a lot, and they have chlamydia.
Oh, that's not good.
So if you see a wild koala in Australia, one, they're vicious, so don't go near it, and two, it has chlamydia, so don't go near it. They're not as cute and cuddly as they look. But apparently, though, we're sending a whole bunch of warships up to the Korean Peninsula because the Republic of Korea, which I'm guessing is South Korea, they're always, like, their warships are on constant alert for attack from the north. So it looks like we're sending a whole bunch of ships up to help them. And yeah, so it looks like we're getting more involved. So shit in North Korea is starting to escalate a bit more because, like, there's been this whole, like, game of chicken for however many years, and it looks like it could soon be over. Relatively soon, anyway. Yeah. It looks like it's not gonna, like, it's getting to the point where I don't think it's just gonna be a whole bunch of name calling and threats anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if I woke up tomorrow and said North Korea has bombed someone. So
yeah, it's all pretty much. It seems like it's been escalating for a minute.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I don't want war to happen. Not my thing.
No, especially the way that wars are fought now. Like, back in the day, I mean, like, I know that this is good overall, but it makes them last longer. Back in the day, it used to be accepted that there would just be casualties, like civilian casualties, because you couldn't help it. Now they try and avoid that. Like, if which, again, is good for the civilians, but if they weren't so anal about making sure that that didn't happen, if possible, North Korea would be gone by now.
Right, because they don't want to, hurt the civilians. I don't know what would happen if you got rid of North Korea, and then what would happen with the
a lot of them are
of North Korea, because
a lot of they think that he's a god, or that his grandfather's a god.
Yeah,
like, I don't know if they can be not North Korean for the most part. Some of them, sure, but most of them, I don't think they can be.
Yeah, that's a lot to come back from. So, I mean, no matter what happens, if this escalates, it's going to be a mess, no matter what the outcome is.
Yeah, so part of me just wishes that it would just happen so it was done.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but yeah, so we're sending ships up.
Yeah, well, all right, here we go. And then I guess our next story is we are taking in Australia's rejects. So
Yeah. So
Australia was like, we don't want these people, and then Obama was like, we'll take them. So thanks, Obama.
Yeah, so pretty much if people try and come here illegally by boat, they get caught. And they don't get to come to
boat. How else would you come?
Yeah.
I guess by plane, but isn't that harder? Yeah. It's a little harder.
Well, they have to, I don't know if it costs more, but they actually have to get some sort of visa that way and then just not go back. And then they're documented in the country as well. I don't know. But yeah, so they come by boat, they get caught, and they're like, nope, you can never come to Australia now, and they get shipped off to a detention center in Papua New Guinea. And you guys are now getting our detention center peeps, if they're determined to be real refugees and not just people trying to migrate. So, oh God.
What's up?
I'm just looking at this article at one of the pictures of one of them. He's just standing there with his Welcome to the United States book, because apparently that's a book that people moving to the US get. But yeah, so they're saying that like prison is better than Manus Island, all of this stuff. And it's like, well, don't fucking try and sneak into another country illegally. Don't. Like, there's been this whole debate about these detention centers and how inhumane they are and shit. And I can't speak for the conditions in the center themselves, but you're breaking the law.
Yeah.
Like, it's like these detention centers are effectively like our version of the wall. And
well, you guys also have an ocean, so
yeah, so, but it's like, don't try and come here illegally. There are asylums, like there's consulates and embassies or whatever throughout the world. You can go and apply for asylum at any one of those. Don't try and come here by boat.
Hi, Isaac. Sorry.
Hey.
Yeah, well, but you see, Bae, if they don't come here by boat, then they won't get to Australia.
Yeah, but then they don't get to Australia anyway, and because they get caught coming here by boat, they never get to come here. And then they go to you.
Which?
I think that being settled in Kentucky, these ones.
Oh, good. Not near me.
Yeah. So yeah, this is actually the deal that Trump and Turnbull got a little bit like tense over just after Trump won the election.
Mm-hmm.
But because I think he was thinking about not doing it, but then he's decided to do it, which part of me is kind of glad, because then we get to stop hearing in our news every day about these poor refugees. Where are they going to go? Because our government won't let them in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of fucking people die coming here by boat. Like, they shouldn't be doing it. Dangerous. But, oh
well. So then our next story. Stop laughing. It's not funny. Okay, our next story is OJ is out of prison for realsy pants.
Yeah, because last time he was in the news, he was granted parole, but now he's actually out.
Yep. And as we heard last night, Florida doesn't want him, but I don't think, well, they can reject his transfer of parole. They can do that, but Other than that, they pretty much don't have any choice. So,
how long is he going to be on parole for?
I'm not sure.
Oh, well, does parole work like if you have to be the rest of your sentence on parole?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, then yeah, pretty much effectively the rest of his life he'll be on parole because he got sentenced to like 33 years in prison.
Right.
And he's still got like another 20-something years of that sentence to go.
Mm-hmm.
So if he has to be on parole for the rest of that, like he's 70. So
yeah.
But yeah, so he's actually, the juice is officially loose. And I don't like OJ.
Well, I mean, why would you? So,
yeah. I can't even watch movies that have him in it because I'm just like, oh, like his face, it just, because I think I've told you this before, and I've probably said it on stream before, but I've gone to a lecture that was given about the murder trial and investigation and everything by someone who was an assistant DA on that case. And holy fuck, like, honestly, the cops investigating must have wanted him to get off because they just fucked way too much up. But
oh yeah, no, the way that investigation was handled was a fucking mess.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Jester. I've been told it's inappropriate to watch other people's bays. Okay, that's weird. What? I'm so fucking confused.
Don't think about it too much because
we just went from like an intellectual conversation about the handling of a murder to my brain breaking.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, well, speaking of broken brains then.
What?
Do we want to just go to the next story? Because it's got this OJ stuff's getting taken to a weird place in chat.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. No, I want to talk about OJ for a sec though.
Okay.
Because I have a thing for like serial killers and like crime stuff. So
same.
Well, that and like cults and everything. So I sit around watching stuff about that. And the way that the LAPD handled that case, I'm convinced that they really wanted him to not get convicted.
Yeah, well, they completely missed evidence. They didn't document evidence. They
tampered with evidence. They threw it out in some cases.
The whole thing was just a big clusterfuck of, oh my god.
When they managed to document it, they documented it wrong.
Yeah. Or like 5 days after the crime, because there was blood on the back gate that they didn't see for like 3 days or something.
Somehow.
So then it was like, well, that's inadmissible because it could have been planted. Because it's not in any.
Before I forget.
Yeah.
We tried to use OBS and like the sound's all fucked up. So Jester, I need your help anyway. Because we tried to fix it and it made it worse. So please help Baes.
Because I had all of my pretty alerts set up and everything.
And we had Pikachus and everything. And then like the sound got all fucky with Skype. We need help. Okay, anyway.
We're female. That's why we're using Hangouts today. God damn it.
We're female and stupid. And yeah, we had like this whole pretty book club set up and everything. It was super cute and it was just okay. But yeah, and then the trial was an absolute mess too because the evidence is there, but but the way it works is that if it's not documented correctly or it's not stored correctly or whatever, if they don't, if the circumstances under which they find it are funky, then even if it's there, even if it exists, you can't use it.
Yep, and then any evidence that's gained as a result of that evidence is fruit of the poisonous tree, so you can't use any of that either.
Right. So even if you have, say, like fingerprints and his blood at the scene, and you can show like defensive wounds of somebody, if you get it under if you get it under inappropriate circumstances, I mean, you could have a confession and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, and then there was also the whole, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit thing. Well, the prosecution forgot the fact that he wasn't taking particular meds anymore or something.
Right. So his hand was all swollen because he has arthritis. So his hand was all swollen, and then it's like, oops.
So,
anyway, so in Australia, they have decided that.
Well, no, it's just experts have said that in Australia, people are getting, like, teenagers. Oh, that's an American photo, though. Our Red Bull is not that cheap.
Do you guys have like an energy drink tax? Holy shit.
Oh, we have a life tax. Everything is taxed here.
We need to get married so that you can come here. What?
Your big cans are $2.19. Our big cans here are like up to $6. Just saying.
But like, hold on. Let's see how much it actually is, like in real money. Okay.
We'll say the average is about $5
to AUD to Australian dollar. Okay. So if ours is $2.19.
Yeah, but our tax is pre-included in the cost as well.
Yeah, but like that would only make it like $2.50.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're still paying way too much money for fucking.
No, I know.
So,
well, you couldn't believe it recently. Oh, because I paid like $5 for a Coke, and you're like, how the fuck did you pay $5 for a Coke?
Right. I was like, you can go to McDonald's and get like a massive Coke for, I mean, it's going to be gross because it's McDonald's, but you can get like a Coke. This is like tea, but like this size at McDonald's for $1.
That makes me sad.
You guys are fucking.
I need to read that.
Yeah, you're missing.
I know.
You and I are going to get married, and we were actually talking about this, and Stixie was like, so will that mean that we're in a polygamous relationship? And we were like, no, we're getting married, and then you're just along for the ride. It's different.
Yeah. If you want to feel included when Bae has her lifelong partner, you can marry him.
Because that'll make so much sense.
Well, it just strengthens our ties there, so then that way it makes it doubly hard to deport us. And then I just have to have an anchor baby, so it's triple hard.
Sorry. Wait, the other thing that's really important, and this is totally off topic, I'm sorry. Our 1-year friendiversary, what's the date?
I think it's next weekend.
Because we're gonna stream on our 1-year friendiversary.
Yeah, I think it was like the 6th or the 8th or something of October, which is like this coming weekend.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
So the 8th. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's been a year.
Honestly, we super fell in love like really fast. I think it was like we talked to each other twice, and then we ended up just like chatting, and we were like, oh my God, me too. Oh my God, me too. Oh my God, me too. Okay, that's weird, but me too. Oh my God, me too. And then like we just ended up talking. I can't believe there was like a time where we didn't talk every day.
I know, it's weird.
That makes me sad. Oh, another thing in exciting personal news, I have a book cover.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I like it. It's good.
I'm really excited about it. I fucking love it. Kevin did a really good job, and I'm
honestly, Kevin needs to just he just needs to always do art, like art.
Yeah,
he can't never not.
Well, and he was really fun to work with, and you and I are working on a project together, and I've already spoken to Kevin about it and told him about it, and I was like, here's what we're thinking. And he's super into that too, and I'm going to use him for other projects, like for the next book, because I need other art done. And
yeah, and then whenever I get to finish Because I'm not going to lie, it's easier to world build when you have someone who's doing most of the world building for you.
Are you talking about
AKA
me?
you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like ideas just flood me and I'm just like shooting you ideas and you're like, no, yes. And then we're like, we kind of work it out that way. What's also kind of been weird about world building together is that I think sometimes we like know what we're thinking in our head, but we forget to say it out loud.
Yeah.
So then like we'll be talking about something and we'll be talking about it completely differently. And then we'll be like, wait a minute. Is this person going to be a dick or no? We have to decide that now because I think we're not on the same page. Then it's like, okay, they're a dick. All right, we're on the same page now. Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun though. For those of you who missed our last book club, we're working on a YA project. We're going to try and make it not shitty YA.
What we did was, it was sort of like a challenge, like a personal challenge, is we, I have the list right. I have the list of the tropes. We were like, we're going to make a YA and hold on. Okay. We're going to make a YA and we were like, we should use tropes and like to give ourselves a challenge. And so the tropes that we've decided that we're going to use is we're going to use an obscure prologue. We're going to tackle a love triangle, which is my least favorite part. I'm not excited about that. We're going to have an instant romance because you gotta. We're going to have a brooding. One of the guys is going to have to be brooding, if not both of them. So, like, where they're just grumpy all the time and, like, in a corner, like, with their arms crossed, like, nah.
Oh, God, I was about to tell you which one, using the initials for their nicknames, because we've nicknamed them both, but they both have the same initials for their nicknames.
Do they really? No, they don't. We got
SS and SS.
Oh, yeah, they do. They totally do. They totally do have the same nickname. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Whoops. Because now when we do the character ID, we can't. I guess we could do like 2S because it is the second born of his family.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know. And then we're gonna have like, she's like basically an orphan.
Yeah.
And she has like undiscovered powers because of fucking course she does. And none of this is spoilery, by the way, because this is so like by the book YA.
Generic.
That like.
No. And then we decided the other day as well, I don't know if you would have written it down, but when she does choose her love triangle, like when the triangle becomes a line.
When you get rid of like the loose end, yeah.
There's going to be the dramatic I love you speech. We can do it.
No.
There has to be the dramatic I love you speech.
No.
There has to be.
No.
It was always you. It was always you.
Can't. Okay, I'm sorry. We like totally got off topic, but I just got excited.
We're talking about how Red Bull makes our kids dumb.
Right, and then some motherfucker was like, we should ban caffeinated
Jamie
drinks.
Oliver, the British chef dude.
It was like, we should ban caffeinated drinks for people under 16. Oh my God. Do you know what that means?
No
Starbucks.
I still need to go and get my pumpkin spice something.
Frappuccino. It's a frappuccino.
Am I going to get a frappuccino?
I mean, I don't like hot Starbucks. I like overpriced coffee slushies, so I get frappuccinos.
Maybe I'll get both.
I mean, I don't like hot coffee. I mean, like, I like hot coffee, but not like from Starbucks because I'm like, I can make hot coffee. I want a coffee slushie. That's why I'm at Starbucks.
Yeah, pray for my safety when I go there.
Like, oh my God, I know, right? So yeah, he wants to get rid of caffeinated drinks for people under, and like, I'm sorry, but every fucking thing has caffeine.
Yeah, because and it's saying that it's destroying our like international smart rank because apparently our students ranked 19th in the world for maths, 11th in reading, and 9th in science, which you'd think that science and math would be a bit closer together, but apparently not.
Do you guys say maths or math?
Maths. That said, though, it is mathematics.
But like, so when you break down the word, it's not mathematics.
I know, but we're just cutting out the we're just cutting out the amatic.
There's no apostrophe to indicate that it's a contracted word.
You know what? You are in no position. You are in no position to complain about any bastardization of English, miss. I come from the country that just removes letters because we feel like it.
What are you talking about? Oh, right.
You remove U's.
Like, what?
And you guys don't have mum, you have mom.
But you know
what? That sounds British how you spell it, mom.
Because I talk to you, I actually have started putting U's in those words because I see you type them that way, and so I'm like, flavor needs a U in it because it needs one. And I wrote it down, and like one of my professors was like, "What?
Why is there a U?"
Yeah, I was like, "Why is there a U?" It was funny. He like put he put a note on the exam. He was like, "There's a U here," and that's weird. So, thanks.
Oh, you know what's funny? In this article as well, one of the stock photos, it has underneath it, the affordability of energy drinks such as Red Bull, Monster, and V has made school children dependent on them. I'm like, bitch, we've already established that our Red Bull is like more than twice the
But there's
cost
also, but like, why?
American.
But like, why would they be dependent on them? I mean, high school age kids here get an average of like 5 hours of sleep a night, and kids that age need 10 hours. They get half as much sleep as they need.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's because of the Red Bull. I think the Red Bull is a symptom of something else.
Yeah, well, I remember when I was in it started when I was in year 10, I would have, because back then there was only like the little cans and then bottles of both Red Bull and V, and they were glass bottles back then, and I would have a little can of each and a bottle of each a day, every day, for like 4 or 5 years.
I don't think I did.
And now I just have a lot of Red Bull.
But I was never like an energy drink kind of person. But I drank coffee every day.
Yeah, I'm addicted to Red Bull.
But that being said, when I was in high school, I went to bed at 9. Which, if you
I
know
would find
me,
myself.
Sorry.
Now is it bananas?
Which, if you know me now, is like that is like the fact that I would go to bed at 9 is like ridiculous. I mean, like I go to bed early and I'm like, it's 2:30. I went to bed early today in the morning.
I found myself. I would be like, you know, I'm gonna go to bed at 10:30 tonight, and then I'd start playing like Age of Empires or something, and I'd look at the clock and it'd be 3 a.m. and I'm like, how the fuck have my parents? Because like I didn't have a computer in my room. This was in the lounge room. I'm like, where are my parents?
I didn't.
Why aren't you responsible?
When I was in high school, I didn't start really playing video games until I met Daniel, because he was like, we're going to play video games and you're going to love it. And I was like, okay. I was like, why not? So I was like pretty much out of high school by the time I started playing video games. So they only get in the way of college. High school is safe.
Who needs college anyway?
Sorry, Mom. We are totally like, this is like, honestly, I feel like this is like Monkey and I like trying to conduct a stream where we just fuck up.
You know, that's fun. I'm having fun though. That's the important thing.
Okay, this makes me so happy because this is like comic book villain, like Despicable Me type villain bullshit, and I love it.
Yeah,
it's super villain horseshit.
I'm just gonna interrupt for 1 second. If you've noticed that there is a lot of Australian related news tonight, guys, it's because I compiled the news list tonight. Yeah. So, but it's this one's
I asked her to do it, and she was gracious enough to do it because she's the best. Okay, so
have you seen the name of the reserve?
What? No, what's the name of the reserve?
Open it.
I can't, like, I don't have the link.
Oh, it's from Black Butt Reserve.
Somebody fucking stole
all the reptiles.
Stole all the reptiles from this fucking nature reserve. Just overnight went and stole all the reptiles. And okay, Jester, I'll have you know, we were up until 4:30. Okay? Not 2:30. Just saying.
Get your time right.
It was much later. Sorry.
The Black Butt Reserve pythons, frilled neck lizards, shingleback lizards, all of them, they're gone. They stole multiple snakes and lizards, and I don't know how you do that.
I don't know how you do that without getting caught either, but I'm into it. I love it. I'm really happy that happened. I mean, like,
but
it's probably bad for the animals, but I think it's funny.
But a whole bunch of locals apparently that have like pet snakes and lizards and shit have contacted Black Butt Reserve to offer up their reptiles until like for the exhibits, so they can still run their reptile exhibits until the stolen reptiles are either found or replaced. So that's kind of nice, but oh, this is in Newcastle. How the fuck is there a place called Black Butt Reserve in a city? I thought that would be like out in the boonies, but it's not. Fuck.
All right, so I guess like our dumbass, you know what? I don't know. I think our dumbass of the week, this is like a really shitty dumbass of the week because yeah, we just couldn't find one.
We panicked.
But the Apple, the new iPhones are just falling apart when you charge them, so that's that. And then for our good mood stuff, we've got dolphins are gonna get horny because of the storms, so we're gonna get baby dolphins.
Yes, because apparently after Katrina, there was just this surge of like baby dolphins being born, so they think that hurricanes make dolphins horny.
Woohoo!
He doesn't love a baby dolphin.
I know,
but
right?
You know what's really annoying?
Like all the baby dolphins. What?
What's really annoying though is they're talking about bottlenose dolphins, but the article doesn't have bottlenose dolphins in the picture.
That is ridiculous. And then
That's
also,
annoying.
Dogs are helping clean up hurricane stuff, which is super cute.
Yeah, it's cute in Puerto Rico. There's these puppies that are taking branches off the road, and it's cute.
It's cute. Okay, so our topic, we're going to chat about what's happening in Spain. So just if you haven't seen my video, in which case if you haven't, you're an ass. I'm kidding. Sort of. But anyway, in Catalonia, they are holding a referendum today. Well, they held a referendum today to vote on independence. And as a result, the police in Spain went and just beat the shit out of a bunch of people for voting. And on my video, a lot of people have told me that, oh, well, the referendum was illegal. And I'm like, okay. The referendum being illegal.
Then you punish them through legal means?
Well, that and the referendum being illegal means that it wouldn't be binding, not that people need to be beaten out. Because all that would have to happen is that a higher court would have to strike it down and then it'd be over. It would be the same thing here. So if California holds a referendum to become an independent state, all that would happen, even if they voted yes and it went to Congress, would be the courts would be like, that's fucking illegal. All right, done. Citizens required.
There's a difference between something being illegal and it being not legally binding as well.
Yeah.
Like you
can, it's not illegal.
Like I could do.
Sorry.
I could do a survey of my neighborhood that decides that we want chocolate milk water fountains everywhere. Council is under no obligation to fulfill that.
Right, because it's not illegal for them to assemble and to vote on something it's illegal for them to actually secede from Spain, which can be taken care of completely non-violently in the courts. I mean, beating people up for expressing an opinion is not a good way to keep your country together. Just saying.
No, and let's be honest, anyone who was kind of on the fence about how they would potentially vote in the referendum, I think you just swayed them to want out of your fucking country.
Well, yeah, because I completely understand wanting to keep a country united. Because first of all, an independent Catalonia would be an absolute mess. But when you treat your citizens that way for expressing an opinion, and then they're like, "We want to leave," I'm like, hard not to be on their side.
Yeah, I'm team Catalonia or whatever.
Yeah, well, you're making it. I'm team like the citizens of Catalonia deserve to peacefully vote, and then you can take care of it through legal means. Because if you watch the videos of the people being beaten, most of them have their hands up.
Yeah.
And they're just standing there, and then the cops are just pulling them away from the poles and from the lines and just beating the shit out of them. So it's not like this is an Antifa type thing where they're being violent and then cops have to intervene. This is just they're dragging them away from polling booths.
Yeah, and I'm just looking up to see if there's any more stuff happening there. 90% of voters voted for independence.
Well, after 90...
so it's not even a small...
90?
Huh?
90?
Yeah, 90%.
Okay.
So only 10% didn't.
But, you know, they're also preventing people who wanted to vote no from voting. So...
In a cruel twist of irony, everyone that was beaten were no voters.
Well...
But no, it's fucked. It's
like
the footsteps on your videos is really bad.
I'm getting a couple of comments on my. Hold on, I'm just looking. Because a couple of people have said, you know, oh, it's good that they're putting the people back in their place. I'm like, this is not the way to do it. We're not in a third world dictatorship. And the other thing is that
it's not the government's job to put us in our place. Representatives, and it's the same in Spain. The Spanish government is supposed to be the people's representatives, not their rulers.
People have been arrested politicians have been arrested for backing the movement.
Yeah.
And on all the human rights committees, and by every measure of human rights, that's a huge human rights violation, especially for the West. So their score for 2017 because of this is going to be incredibly low because they're political violence carried out by the government, meaning that if you express dissent politically,
that's okay.
Jinx. If you express dissent politically and you are detained for that, or you disappear, or you're beaten, we consider that to be a human rights violation. On the national scale, or on the international scale, sorry. So this is going to be a big problem for Spain in the international community as well.
Yeah, and Mr. Rajoy, the Prime Minister, has thanked security forces for upholding the law and doing their job, saying that we did what we had to do. The response by the police was proportionate.
It was not.
They used rubber bullets to stop people voting.
Yeah, we're not talking about some violent revolution that happened. We're talking about people peacefully going to the polls and voting. Like I said, something that can be taken. It's almost like this is something this is something that can be taken care of in editing. Okay, it's fine. In post-production, you can fix it.
Yeah, it's oh, fucking.
I don't know what he's barking at, but he's barking at something.
Apparently 3 million people voted. Like that's a lot of people.
It's a significant number of people who have voted. It's a significant number of people who want to secede, but I don't think that escalating the violence is the way to get that number down.
No, and again, if the worst people are doing is standing in line to go tick a piece of paper, like there is no way that you can justify violence in response.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that there are ways to de-escalate the situation before you get to that point. Like I feel like there are steps that you can take before this.
Yeah. And honestly, again, I don't like. This tells me straight up that Spain is a dictatorship.
Well, they're behaving like it, for sure.
Yeah, because at the very worst, what this is a poll run by the Catalonia government.
Right.
At the very worst, that's what this is.
Right.
Because, again, if it's illegal for them to secede, then
you don't have a problem. I mean, you have a problem socially, but you don't have a problem legally.
And guess what? Maybe having those results, like maybe not forcing people to not vote by beating the fuck out of them. It's like, okay, well, 90% of this one part of the country doesn't want to be a part of the country. We need to determine how we can help mend those barriers, not beat the fuck out of them.
Right.
Like this is useful politically. Even if you're against them seceding, it's very useful information to have.
Yeah, and like I said, this is why I'm actually really happy that I'm taking global issues right now and that I have a really good professor, because we've actually talked about this particular situation at length in class.
Your next class is going to be bananas on this.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun though, because we just got done talking about human rights, and this completely violates all of the Western standards of human rights. These are things that just don't happen in the West. Because something that we actually talked about was the fact that were Iran doing this, for example, nobody would be that upset about it. I mean, we would be like, that's wrong, but we wouldn't be like, holy shit, what the fuck? Because you expect it from a country like Iran.
No, it'd be like, oh, well, Iran's up to their crazy tricks again.
Yeah, whereas with Spain, you don't expect it, so you have you're a lot more outraged by it, which is completely true when you look at this.
And what are the odds? Because this is against EU standards. What are the odds there's going to be no repercussions for Spain by the EU?
Mm-hmm. Well, I
don't think that they're going to get punished at all.
Because
Peter is saying that Catalonia brings in about 24% of their GDP. And
yeah, I mean, there are reasons. Oh, hi, Peter. And there are reasons that there are reasons for them to stay, and it would be very difficult for them to make it on their own. So it's important that they stay for the stability of both for both regions, for Spain as a whole, and for Catalonia as a region, for them to stay united. But Spain needs to actually do something to give them an incentive to stay united, and beating the fuck out of 3 million people is not how you do that. Because the other polls...
Oh, Barcelona is there. Sorry.
Because the other polls prior to today had the support for leaving at around 70-something%.
What was that, sorry?
At the previous polls for them, like just opinion polls had them at about 70% in favor of leaving, and now people voted 90% in favor of leaving. So clearly beating the shit out of people.
I mean,
a whole lot to help.
I mean, the turnout was lower. It was only 42.3%, but I would wager a lot of no voters saw people getting the shit beaten out of them and went, well, I'm not going to go and vote, and I'm not going to go get the shit beaten out of me, so I'm just not going to go. So that could also play a role in, because I think people that were voting yes to leave probably had a higher willingness to risk their own physical well-being to vote.
Well, there are probably a lot of people who even wanted to vote yes but weren't willing to risk it.
Yeah.
So that's probably why the voter turnout was low, because The yearly protests in Barcelona usually consist of about 1 million people annually.
Yeah. And, yeah, over 840 people were injured.
Which is a fuck ton of people.
That's a lot of people. Like, I mean, like, in a group of 3 million, it doesn't sound like that much, but when you're considering all they were doing was lining up to vote, that's a lot of people. One is a lot of people for that. No one should have been injured by the police.
Yeah, there have been no reports of civilians doing anything violent to provoke the police, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do have a different ethnic identity from the rest of Spain, like Cryptic just said. That is true, and that's also part of why they want to leave as well, because they don't feel like their identity, their ethnic identity, is respected or acknowledged in the entirety of Spain.
Yeah.
Which is what it is. I personally am not into the whole ethno-state kind of thing, but that is, that's their thing. I don't know what's going to happen on the international community in the international community, because I'm not for interventionism directly. I am for bitching about it. I think bitching about it is important, but I'm not for direct intervention.
I think it depends on the context.
Yeah.
Like, because 90%, and then say hypothetically, because the vote was banned, but it doesn't say that the results of the vote are against their constitution. I don't know whether or not it is or not. So we don't know if this vote is actually, because that could be why it was actually banned, the referendum, because they actually can leave if they got a majority. So if that happens and they want to declare their independence and Spain doesn't let them, well, that would then I can understand people stepping in if they're asking for assistance. But until assistance is requested in a legal manner, I don't think we should step in. But at the same time, we can heavily criticize the fuck out of Spain.
Yeah. And there, of course, so when you join something like the EU or the United Nations, you do also agree to certain standards of what you can and can't do.
Yeah. But those organizations are so corrupt now that who knows?
Well, what I'm saying is that when it comes to interventionism, that would be the most legal way for somebody to intervene, because
that is true.
And when it comes to the way that we categorize human rights violations, political rights are especially important, meaning that you don't get, you don't disappear, you don't get arrested or something like that because of your political opinions, which obviously that has happened in the past couple of weeks in Spain, which is a problem. And I'm pretty sure it's against the terms of being in the UN, because you're subject to submitting human rights reports every year. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I just can't fathom how the Prime Minister thinks that the response was appropriate.
I don't either, because see, if they ban the referendum, here's the thing. If you banned it and you've already said that you're not going to count the results, then it doesn't matter what happens, because you've already ordered that the results don't matter. So even if it happens, if it doesn't carry any weight, then it doesn't carry any weight, and there's no need to beat people. I mean, there are legal avenues that you can take to stop it from happening.
Yeah, because again, if the referendum is invalid in the eyes of the law, all it is a fucking massive poll.
Yeah. It's like Australia right now. It doesn't really matter what you vote because it's not a binding.
No, it's just a fucking poll, and I just think that it was like, because the situation in Spain would be incredibly bizarre for you.
Right.
Because your government works very differently to a lot of European governments and Australian government.
Yeah.
But then also you guys have, again, First Amendment to your Constitution is the right to speech and opinion and all of that shit. So, yay. We have a lot more restrictions, and our government does work in more similar ways to the Spanish government than yours does.
Yeah.
But even I'm just like, this is fucking bizarre. Like, it's like we don't have the right to speak, but this is just fucking
well. The other thing that's
ridiculous.
Almost, right now a little bit foreign is that it's a political movement that in the past couple of weeks has been nonviolent, which for the U.S. right now is like, holy shit, it's a political movement that's not violent. What? Whoa. And it's like, I know, right? So yeah, and I don't know. I don't understand why people think that it's that beating the fuck out of your citizens is justified in this, because like I said, it's not like a ton of comments, but it's 3 or 4 people who are like, no, this is great, they should beat the shit out of people more often. And I'm like, that is so fucked up. That's so
yeah, I think honestly, could you imagine what would happen in the US if the government just started being like, yo, we don't want this opinion poll to take place, and if you try and partake, we'll beat you?
Well, California is already passed around a petition that's going to drive their Congress people to push towards more independence, and nothing happened.
Yeah, like, can you imagine if Trump was like, nope, that's not happening, FBI, get down there.
And go punch people in the face. No, that's not how they're gonna deal with it. They're gonna deal with it in the higher courts, and they're just gonna strike it down, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because that's all you have to do.
Yeah, it doesn't really require much effort on your part to stop this from happening.
No, and the same thing would be with Spain. If it's illegal for them to secede, then you just deal with it legally. You don't start terrorizing your citizens. That's super messed up. But that's all the time we have. Of course, next week we will be on Bae's channel, and we will be doing it on Saturday.
Yes.
Unless something happens. Sometimes it gets moved around just because of personal stuff or whatever. Because life. So yeah, and then of course, the Lords of the Night is happening on my channel at 9 p.m. today. So, but I know most of you will be there. Yeah. So that's all I've got. Anything else, Bae, that you want to add? When's the next book club?
I was about to say, when are we book clubbing again? This book is incredibly short.
Is it?
Are we doing the next one? Because I looked at the audiobook file and I was like 4 hours or something. It's really, really short. And I don't know if it's broken or not.
Is there something wrong with it? Or like, is it actually short?
I think we're just going to have to listen and find out.
I haven't even fucking downloaded it yet. I like have PTSD from the other one. From just how fucking stupid it was. And the reason why I'm so upset about it is because it took a story structure I really fucking love and just
destroyed it.
Just destroyed it. I was like, why would you do that? Okay, anyway.
Yeah. Well, we'll have a book club in the next few days. TBD.
Yeah. And again, Jester, I need you because sound in OBS blew up. So
yes, please help us.
Please. Anyway. Yeah. I will see you guys in an hour. Bye, guys.